Hi, I'm Lippy.
And I'm Grumpy. Together we're Lippy and Grumpy Do Podcasting.
In this episode, excuses and a broken shark.
Now, Lippy,
Hello.
we got some explaining to do.
Yeah, we do a little bit.
But before we do that, we are actually in the same room for the first time in quite a long while.
It's a bit weird, actually. I'm not sure where to look.
Yeah, well, you don't have to look at me. It's okay. So this one's going out. I'm not doing any editing whatsoever. We're just going to bang it out, top and tail it, out it goes. So no sniffing, no umming, and I'll try not lose the track of what I'm saying, although I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, if we go back a couple of weeks, 7th of January,
Yes.
one should have come out, and we recorded a cracking episode with sound effects.
Yes, it even had sound effects. I forgot about those.
And that was the problem, because I was concentrating so much on adding the sound effect into Riverside that I forgot to look at which microphone it was picking up. It was picking up the tinny little one on the webcam.
Not the proper
And
one.
No, not our nice, rich sounding microphone. So unfortunately we had to ditch that because my skills are limited in the editing department and I could not improve that audio. I don't think anybody could, to be honest.
No.
So that's excuse number one.
Yep.
And then
Tick.
on the 7th, I had a call from the hospital saying, we've got a slot for you for prostate cancer treatment next Tuesday. Do you want it? Yes.
Obviously.
Absolutely. So that went ahead and that went very well. Has taken a long while to recover from that. And I had hoped to put out a little message afterwards, but I just, quite frankly, didn't have the strength to do it.
No.
So apologies for last week and nothing, but hope you understand our reasonable excuse for that one. So what we thought we'd do this week, I'm still recovering, and you've got having your bathroom
Done.
rebuilt
Yes.
on the upstairs. We just talk about The Shark is Broken.
Yes. The
And
spectacle of the shark is
it was
broken.
brilliant. And before we carry on, I'd just like to say we had a listener contact us through Instagram
Yeah.
who was due to see it. I think it was on the 7th, and he couldn't make it. And he offered us his tickets because he said, I know
Very
you've spoken
gratefully.
about it and I know you really want to go. And I was so... Yeah, that is
Yeah.
exactly the right word.
Very
So
touched.
thank you for getting in contact, and thank you for the lovely message afterwards that said, please keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
We'll try.
We'll try. We've got lots of family and friends who quite like listening to it, but there's nothing like somebody who have no idea who it is to
Yeah.
get in contact. So thank you so much. That was really kind and thoughtful. But we had been and seen it the Saturday before.
We had, and it was absolutely incredible. The opening scene when they played that Jaws music.
Yeah.
Oh, silence
Yes.
in the theatre.
Yes, it was superb. And the whole setup. I mean, I love theatre plays where you've got one set
Yes.
and there's no changing and it's all done in that one set. And there's only the three of them in it. I don't think there's anybody else. When Ian Shaw, who is the son of Robert Shaw, who played Quint, came on, it was... Well, a chill went up my spine because he is so like him.
Yes.
So,
And
so
Mrs.
like
Grumpy
him.
gasped.
Yes. There was a bit of it. There was quite a bit of gasping.
There
actually,
was, yes,
to be,
there was.
To be fair, that was quite good. But the other two to play
Incredible as
were
well.
just... And there was one scene where they were counting the Indianapolis, and the chap playing Richard Dreyfuss, who was the understudy, who
Yeah.
I hadn't realised the understudy study all three parts, so they can drop into any of
Yeah.
them. And there was a couple of moments that, blimey, that's really,
Nice.
really like him. So that was quite impressive to see an understudy do that. So yeah, it was a great play, and I think there's another couple of weeks to run still. They
And
did
I
extend
think,
it.
Yes, they did extend it.
But
I
it's
did
well
see
worth
something.
seeing. If you love plays or you have any feeling at all for the film Jaws, then
Definitely go and see.
if you can go and see it.
It doesn't feel... It's an hour and a half, isn't it?
It's an hour and a half, yeah.
And
No,
you would never have known
No.
it.
It's
It was
a lovely-
captivating for the whole time.
yeah, it was. Yeah. absolutely. The only thing I would say, seats were a tad on the uncomfortable
Yes.
side. And I
Theatre
was
seats.
shuffling a bit towards the end. But plenty of legroom, which is not bad for a turn
Old
of the
style.
century.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So excellent. And there was big projector screen behind the boat, so they basically chopped the orca in
They
half.
did, yeah.
They even managed to get the shooting star, which is in the
They
film,
did.
in there as well, which I thought
And
was
a bottle
quite
of
cool.
alcohol float away into the
I
distance.
didn't see that, but that is brilliant. They set the scene fantastically
They
well.
did. And the thing that shocks me is how they remember all of those lines, because they don't have many breaks. There was a few parts where there was just two of them or just one of them, and it was a bit more acting rather than speaking, but they can recall all of those lines. It's ridiculous.
I think they
It's
passed
impressive.
their 100th performance, so I suppose by 100 it's... But
You know it, yeah.
There's no way I could remember that much.
No.
I have trouble remembering my own address, to be honest, let alone anything else. So, interestingly, there was a programme on Sky Arts, I think it was, about Robert Shaw, which was very interesting. Yeah, it was on a week or so ago. And I also bought the book to read while I was off. Not his autobiography, but an autobiography. Unfortunately, my eyesight suffered somewhat. I was only just recovered, and I couldn't read it. It was too small. It was too small. So I have got a pile of books to read now, which
Well, you should have got it on the Kindle, then you can blow the writing
I
up.
should have done that. But I do prefer a book, it has to be said. But yes, I should have done it on the Kindle. Yeah, so I've got that to read, which I'm looking forward to immensely.
Pretty good. We as soon as we got home, we rewatched Jaws.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. we haven't. We nearly did it, but we were a bit pooped by the time we got back.
No, we watched it. Can't remember what time I went to bed, but we watched the whole thing.
Very good. Very good indeed. It's always worth rewatching. And what I liked about the play is, because I've done a lot of reading around the making of Jaws for our upcoming special that we may do one day, it was linking back to those facts and the people on the island, characters involved in producing a film like that. You know, the people you see on the screen is a tiny proportion of people involved. You know, the guy that built the sharks and operated them. You know, his story and all of that links together. Really interesting. And the fact that Steven Spielberg was worried about the crew were going to throw him in the water on
Yes,
the last
on the
day of
last day,
filming.
yeah.
So he hot-footed it off the island.
Yeah. It was quite interesting to learn a bit more about the actual shark as well in the play setting, saying the reason it kept breaking was because of the hydraulics,
Yes.
and it was built to be used on land, and when it got in the water made it heavy.
That to a part, but also the salt water, because
Yeah.
salt water is phenomenally corrosive. As anybody who's had anything to do with boats on the ocean will know. So I think they tested it in the tanks in California, which is obviously not salt water, and then you put it in the salt water, it starts to gum up. So it's not a surprise. It was a little troublesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and then a couple of great books which explain all of that. I've got a people, so we'll get around to that special one day.
Yes. definitely.
Anyway, there are a few weeks left of The Shark is Broken. If you can go and see it, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a very good day out. And they dealt with all the COVID restrictions really well as well,
Really
which was
well.
good. So it was no effort getting in.
Yeah. Really good bar. Alcohol, always a tick.
Always a tick, and some slightly overpriced crisps. Which was not bad. Anyway, we'll be back next week.
We will be.
We won't be in the same room. We'll be in our separate places, assuming
Yes.
your bathroom is complete and not flooded the entire house.
Well, it won't be complete, but the plumbing part should be done.
That's the important bit. Keep all the water on the inside of the pipes.
Yes.
Then, yes, job's a good one. So we'll be back with a normal service in a week's
Normalish.
time. Yeah, normalish. Yeah, well, yeah, normalish. So have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
You can help spread Lippy and Grumpy's view on life by leaving a review on your favourite podcast platform.
If you're not sure how to leave a review, or if you download from Spotify, there's some help at lippyandgrumpy.uk/review.
And if you would like to get in touch, email podcast@lippyandgrumpy.uk.
So it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
Bye.